So with the implementation of the brand new Skull and Hardy update, we have been given two new swimsuits, one of course for the brand new Sun God Freya, which we'll also be using in this video, but there's another one which we have gotten, which is probably one of the best skins we've gotten in the game, and that is for Jormungandr. I mean, you guys are looking what? You guys can see what I'm looking at, right? This is too good. I mean, I really mean it when I say Netmarble have been absolutely smashing out of the park with some of these skin designs, and I mean, yeah, it shows. The whole Freya design is absolutely amazing, and even all the cutouts that we've been given with these new characters as well have been absolutely amazing. But I figured having a new skin for Jormungandr, it is really only plausible that I show her off in the pretty much the only content she is good in, which is the deer, and along with that, why not use Freya and Escanor? We have the double death effect going. Unfortunately, I don't have the brand new set Freya 6 out of 6. He's 3/6, but he'll still hold up. If you guys don't know what the Jormungandr does, her first card here, inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on one enemy and restores the HP of all allies by 40% of damage dealt. The second card cancels buffs and stances on one enemy and inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack. The ultimate, which we have 5/6, increases all allies damage dealt by 35% for 2 turns and inflicts damage equal to 882% of attack on one enemy. And then her passive, at the start of every turn in Demonic Beast battle, Eichner applies an effect on all allies which increases all stats by 30% for 2 turns. If 3 allies each use skills once or more, the same effect is applied to all allies again. So that's the main reason why I'd use her. Super excited for actually to get a Holy Relic. We've had a whole bunch of units, some of the older Ragnarok characters get Holy Relics, and she's one that still hasn't got it. Super excited for Freya to get a Holy Relic as well. Hopes it makes some of that a little bit better in the Skull and Hardy raid, but having a look at the gear here and rocking at the attack and defense, no different roles. And then jumping over to the closet, it is what it is. Not going to put a crazy amount of investment into it. As long as you have the character in the field, she is getting all of the work done that she needs to. When it comes to the artifact set, we are of course using the Demonic Beast Battles set, and just a quick look at the gear here if you guys are interested, but let's jump right into it. I've pretty much already recorded this video previously, but I don't know what happened to the file, so why not? We're doing it again, jumping back into it. The deer has gotten a whole lot easier with Jormungandr, and I mean, rightfully so. I was so waiting for her release. The deer was an absolute struggle upon release, and although I do say that, I still feel like it has been, or it was, a whole lot easier than the Skull and Hardy. I've recently done a couple attempts on that. I've beaten the first floor. It was not insanely difficult or anything like that, but I can definitely see the difficulty, and the majority of the player base might not even be able to beat the first floor. I could beat the second as well, but I just didn't have the time to do that. I might go ahead and try and do it this week. That way, when we get our first decent Demon and Giant Holy Relics, I'm not saying the Droll one and the Scardian one aren't the greatest thing in the world. Actually, granted, they are both giant ones, but I don't know, waiting for something like an Assault Mode Meliodas Holy Relic, I feel like that's what everyone's waiting for at this point, so I'd be oh so keen to see something like that in the game. I feel like most of you guys have gotten the deer thing down. I mean, I suppose I'll still talk about the phases whilst we go throughout the video. Kind of act as a tutorial or whatnot, but every second and fourth phase throughout the 3 floors, you'll have this color wheel up the top. Basically replicates the same one up here. You can always use this for reference in the order that you have to attack. So you can obviously defy the wheel and you'll get penalized for that, doing less damage. Sometimes characters get frozen. You'll be debuffed with infect, stuff like that. But overall, you definitely want to be following that. The main difficulty that comes throughout the deer is the build-up of passives throughout all of the floors, and then other than that, just the overall stat increase, once again, as you go throughout all of the floors. Let's go for the merge. I'm surprised at how much damage our Freya is taking. Before this, I was using the Scardy, who, although isn't a character that heals, definitely has the ultimate, which will heal. Look at that, straight back to full HP though. And not the greatest debuff in the world. It's not something you'd have to reset over. This one on the Skull and Hardy though, I would definitely recommend doing so. Let's see, I mean, like, I feel like you'll also probably hear me pause and say over my head the color wheel multiple times throughout the video. It is just something I cannot get down pat. This Brownhold though, a very good character for this activity. Although she was released with the intent for the bird, she definitely holds up there. I feel like there are a lot better characters. Cusack is probably one of my favorite characters to replace her with. I feel like with the ult control, the cleave, he also does pretty consistent damage. Another character that has that cleave effect is Freya. And the ultimate with the Abyss and Power Strike is the perfect combo for that kind of activity. So, I don't know, a lot of people do prefer to use the Escanor. I just don't see the appeal for Escanor in that activity, but we're going to be able to finish this one off here. I really want to get your ultimate, that way we can heal before we move on. I don't really need to worry about keeping the... we'll be fine just to throw out cards there, because we'll have one card of each type and we can get the full heal with Brunhilde. It's definitely... There is a super fun activity. I'd probably say Bird is still the funnest of the Demonic Beast battles. It does change a whole bunch when it comes to what happens throughout the floors and stuff like that, so it can be difficult to memorize what each and every single one does, but I don't know, Bird's an absolute classic. I remember when that kind of stuff released, and oh man, it took me ages to beat that third floor. Look at that, beating the final phase in just 2 moves. Into full heal there. Still mad disappointed the Escanor got his Holy Relic as soon as possible. I am really hoping they push back the Chad King Holy Relics and the Trader Holy Relics, the Trader Melee Holy Relics, I should probably say. Even if we have several weeks or maybe even like months on end before we get them, because it gets to the case where this Escanor had his drop in the second batch, and although that's cool because Escanor all of a sudden has a bunch more CC, stuff like that, they ended up getting by far one of the worst Holy Relics possible. Granted, there are worse Holy Relics in the game, but there are also R characters that don't really stand the biggest chance in the world in super viable, but Escanor, you could have dropped his Holy Relic now and easily made him viable. Give him, what, 30% attack related stats in all activities? Because I believe it's just 30% attack in just PvP. From memory, that's what the Holy Relic is, so absolutely garbage. Imagine if it helped out in PvE as well. He is already one of the best characters in the game, or could very well be the best character in the game for PvE. He's definitely up there with the Trader Meliodas, and there's obviously certain characters that are activity specific, Jormungandr, Magelda, stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about, but he is super, super good for that. I will never, or not at least anymore, say he is a good character for PvE, because that is just not true by any means. We have a whole bunch of green cards. I think I might just merge those two. God damn, look at this. This Jormungandr skin is... We have some skins that have been censored from the Japanese versions or the Korean versions to the global version. This has had absolutely no censorship, and it shows. Hey, I'm not complaining. What do we want to go for here? 1, 2, 3, and no Freya cards. That is a little bit problematic, however. We do have quite a while till we get back to the red part in our cycle. The second phase of the second floor has this thing where you have to go through the whole cycle once for this grey debuff to be removed. That way you remove that damage cap and you can actually start dealing damage. So using your 3 weakest versions of each type card is definitely the best way to go about it. Maybe I should put the red Tarmiel Grace on Freya instead, because at this point in time I have it on Jormungandr, because I thought she'd be the one who'd be getting targeted the most, but she's honestly holding up fairly well. Granted, she has got defense gear as well, whereas the Freya is full attack crit. Definitely could help him out a little bit more. Let's go for this, and pretty close to the Esker ultimate. We should be able to finish this one off here. I believe if you get to the 3rd turn of this second phase as well, try and make it so one of your units is frozen. You can do that by penalizing yourself by hitting with the wrong type. If your whole team is alive and none of them are frozen, he will do an AoE attack, which pretty much guaranteed one-taps your whole team, so definitely something to look out for. Unfortunately, no red cards, so I think we're just going to spam all of our green cards, get them all out of the way. Might do a bit of damage as well. The Detonate as well is an amazing card for PvE activities, because with the amount of ult gauge all of these bosses have, it's very good. Probably shouldn't be wasting it on these earlier turns, but I suppose that is where the annoying part of the deck could come in. It can be very card RNG dependent. Nowhere near. The Skull and Heart is not only card RNG dependent, but also RNG on certain units just randomly being frozen. Maybe them just going full ham on a single unit. There's certain phases on the second floor where you can just get unlucky. They both single target and spam all of their single target cards on one unit, and you just die. I mean, my whole team for that is level 100 as well, unlike the team we're rocking here, and it's still so absurdly difficult. Let's see, I'm hoping that'll be enough to finish this phase off. That way we can kill on the next one. Might be a little bit shy. I'm putting a lot of faith in this cleave card though, that's for sure. Please? Nah, no. A little bit short. Yeah. Although we did get the Holy Relic for Brunhilde, Brunhilde's Holy Relic is very good. It also suits the Redding skin super, super nicely. It's good, helps out a bunch in D. Not the greatest when it comes to PvP. It's good for PvE. I don't know, I definitely would have liked it to be a bit better. She isn't one of the main characters for these Demonic Beast battles, so really having my fingers crossed for Freya though. I don't want to have to summon and be forced to 6-6 another character just to complete an activity. Let's go for... I think going for this might be our best bet, and then we'll just waste another Esker card. Once again, we have these 3 ultimates, which will guarantee us killing this final phase. Look at that cutout as well, man. Unfortunately, the headpiece for the Jormungandr isn't the greatest, so I've just got one of her original UR ones. I mean, short hair supremacy, so we're rocking the short hair Jormungandr. Probably the worst passive we could have got as well, the alt reduction one. That means going into this 3rd and final floor, we aren't going to be able to give ourselves an Escanor ultimate, which is definitely annoying, yeah. I don't feel like we need the heal, so I might go for this instead. Use the Escanor card, we will throw out the 1 Freya card we have. Actually, I might go as far as... Do we want to give Freya the ultimate just to make sure we also have another cycle? I think that's the go. Pinch off the death effect once again. I probably shouldn't actually, yeah, I was meant to use the level 1 heal card. The level 2 heal card heals, as you just saw then, all allies. I mean, we don't even really need to worry about the damage. You see Escanor get a crit off, which he can't do in PvP anymore, but when he does, the damage is crazy. Still have to level 100 him. I've taken a little bit of a break level 100 in characters. I was grinding it super hard when it came out, but just getting SSR pendants is so insanely difficult, and until they make more ways to get them and make them more accessible, we're kind of stuck with what we've got. Let's go for... Jormungandr is really low. I feel like if I go for this, we get a little bit of hate. Not only life steal for her, but the actual card effect on her once again. Oh, we don't have a blue card. I'm hoping this will be enough to kill. The Power Strike is going to do so much that, yeah, I think it's kind of inevitable that the death effect kills here. So yeah, Jormungandr is still really low, finishing that one off. Let's see the... Yeah, that windscreen for him looks so sick. It's crazy to think as well, this is the weak version of Freya. I really do hope we get a strong version of Freya. If you guys pay attention to the story, not that I do by any means, but he is basically sick. If you have a look at all of his emotes, you can see him coughing, even at the beginning of his ultimate animation, but... I mean, I doubt it's something we'll get, but to see a full power Freya, I actually had one of you guys actually mention this in one of the previous videos, but a scene in the Ragnarok story with a full power Freya versus the one Escanor would go so crazy. That would be sick to see. Because I was talking about how I'd want him to, if we ever got a Fate collab, have a cutscene with Gilgamesh or something along those lines. If you don't know Gilgamesh, type it up, and then make sure to type in Fate Grandeur up after it, otherwise it just comes up with a picture of a stone. But they look so insanely similar. You cannot tell me they are not the same character, or at least gotten a whole bunch of the idea of Freya of Gilgamesh. Getting into this 3rd and final phase though, it's real unfortunate we got 2 of the worst passives possible, so if we finish this, it makes things a little bit interesting, having that a little bit more difficult. I might have to maybe reset a couple times on that final floor. But yeah, same thing, phase 2 and phase 4 having the color wheel stuff. It is annoying in this first phase as well. We will get attack disabled, so not being able to get off that second part of the Jormungandr passive. Go for this. I might actually hold on to... If I hold on to that though, we're not going to be able to do enough damage. Why not? We'll go for this here, and I might merge the Escanor cards instead of wasting one of them. Surely that kills though, right? With the detonate effect, getting all that extra damage. I've heard people say that we are getting a 4th Demonic Beast battle. I'm not too sure where I heard that again, but at this point we have holy relics or materials to cover every single race, so maybe it is to... My first thought was maybe it's going to be to get the SR collaboration characters, because we do have collaboration characters with holy relics. We have a whole ton at this point, and I always thought it weird that none of the SR characters actually got versions of that, so I'd like to see a holy relic for characters like the SR Slime Rimuru and whatnot, but I highly doubt it'd be for that. They would have just done that with the actual collaborations when they happen, but I doubt we're ever going to get like secondary reruns or anything along those lines. Keen to see though, we still do have a couple of reruns to happen. I thought with the 4th season of Stranger Things, we might have had a rerun for that. Who knows, could maybe finally get Dustin in the game, stuff along those lines, but we'll just have to see. Surely we don't get a rerun of Stranger Things without Dustin, right? Going ham on the Jormungandr there. We can easily finish this one off. That, I really want another one of you before I go ahead and waste it. And then we'll just chuck out that as well. No more blue cards once again. That's the only problem with rocking double green is it can be so dependent, and you really need to think about not wasting your Escanor or Freya cards. Maybe if you know you're going to finish a phase, just merge cards or waste your green cards because you'll get an abundance of them. Best part about this third and final floor as well is pretty much all of the passives are good passives. There are some that are going to be better than others, but none of them are terrible by any means. I think he does have the infect effect on this turn, so see if we can hold on to, oh sorry, see if we won't hold on to and instantly use the heal card. That way we can get everyone to full HP. Would definitely advise using attack defense on Jormungandr as well, hoping able to get more healing off. And you don't have to be the tankiest in the world to rock Deer. If you are having troubles with tanking some of the attacks as well, there's always the Halloween card set that gives you that extra damage reduction, although I would still heavily recommend using the damage one because it just makes hitting that damage cap all that easier. Not that it's even difficult with the Jormungandra's passive, but as you can see, there can be certain turns where he'll just only target a single yellow unit. She's tanked pretty well though, especially with 2/6 Tarmiel, missing a whole lot of stats. Let's see, no point in rushing an ultimate. We could definitely use all of our weak cards to finish this phase off as well. Let's go 1, 2. I'll use the weak version of Detonate, and I might just use that as well. Why not? That should be good enough. And then as long as we don't get super unlucky in this final floor, we should be good, especially since we have these damage lines for each and every 10%. I believe once you get the deer under 20% is when he does the full heal, so as long as we stay wary about that. Finally, the Ignite passive for the last floor is the final, or the best one to get, that's for sure. And if we could get lucky and not get a weed here as well, that would be great. We'll go for the Escanor attack considering we have a level 2 Super Slash card. For this and 4, I might actually use 500%, 200%, although it's cleave. I think I'm still going to use that. I think that's still going to do less damage. Use that, that's super weak as well, and then we'll chuck that out. Because yeah, being able to go into this phase, use your 3 cards, and then chuck off a death ultimate and hit damage cap twice, so worth it. If you can reset on that second floor and just avoid that passive, 100% worth. Ever since they've removed the revival passive, this activity has gotten so much better. I heard in the latest patch notes they even nerfed the deer again. There's that AoE card I was talking about where he'll remove the ult gauge on everyone. Yeah, hearing that they nerfed the deer again, I would much rather have them nerf the Skull and Hardy. That thing's the bane of my existence at this point in time. Let's see, with the damage output we could probably kill in this turn. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and then another red card. Might just chuck that out. I think we've gotten to the point where we're more just going to need to focus on doing the right kind of stuff with our damage. Is that going to revive? Let's try that again. So definitely don't want to go for full damage. Maybe we just try doing a real weak turn for this one. Even then, just throwing out that Escanor card is going to deal a lot of damage. He's not using the ultimate in this one, so if we go like this, that'll be a lot of damage. We'll still have all of the ult gauge for the next turn, and then I feel like we could... Oh gosh, we do so much. Having a extra Super Slash card would be perfect. I feel like if we just weaken him with some of these other cards... Oh, has he already got the evasion? Wow, that was so quick. Is that turn 3? I swear it was turn 4 that he got that. Let's see. There's the ult removal once again. We do not have any buff removal as well. That was one of the good parts about having the Skadi. There is really nothing we can do about that. Yeah, definitely. That's on me for using that card. This is definitely a strong chance that this is a dead run now. Check out those, because after this is when we get the taunt that goes up and he's basically invincible. There's the corrosion. Can't heal once again. Okay. I mean, everyone's pretty much topped up until the corrosion kicked in. Yeah, I don't think this... Let's reset and I'll meet you guys back when we're at the full phase. Here we go, back again, and I mean, still not the greatest hand. However, we do have quite a variety of cards in this one. Going for that. This, unfortunately, 2 really strong Brunhild cards. Why not? Why not? We'll go for this play here. Unfortunately, yeah, we just have such a strong... If I wanted to go for the level 2 Brunhild card, I would have had to have started off the cycle with the level 1 Power Strike card, which, once again, yeah, I still feel like that would have been a waste. Although we're probably going to get an abundance of green cards within the next couple turns. I'd really like it if the deer was to just not AoE us on one of the turns where we have our ultimates. We'll see though. It is just so difficult. We really need to keep in mind keeping that buff removal card. As long as we have that, we should be able to get through this next phase just fine. Let's go red, green, blue. And is that too weak at that point? Because that is a lot of our strongest cards. Why not? Why not? We'll go full send. Hopefully we can just finish this off here and not even have to worry about the buff removal card. Go for the power strike, that'll get pretty low. Oh no, Escanor. Escanor's gonna proc. Oh no. Take 3 and surely better this time. We went for that. That was green. Blue just still managed to kill so easily. Maybe we try using weak cards so we can get back to red. But the only weak green card we have is that one there. Okay, let's go for this, and then I think I might just go ahead and merge you. That way, who knows, if we get lucky and he doesn't use the ult removal card, we can throw up the death ultimate and easily finish that one off. Really hoping this is just shy. However, Escanor is still proccing there. I mean, if I just had this team full level 100, this would be a million times easier on me. Why not? I think I might just throw those 2 cards out. Let's see how much damage we do there. Still gonna do an awful lot with that power strike card. Yeah, let's hope just due to the type disadvantage thing, these do nothing. Please, this could be so perfect. Oh, God damn it. And on today's episode of Vlad struggles with the revive part of the final phase, did we just not use that Brunhold card? I think that might be the go. We'll go for this here. We'll hold on to that green card. Surely, right? Surely this is the best way to do it. I mean, if we were using Skadi, we would not be putting anywhere near this amount of damage out, so I suppose having the really good team has kind of disadvantaged us in a way. Putting the corrosion on us is not helping a whole bunch either. Let's see, even then, using the green to remove the evade is going to mean we're going to have to go through the whole cycle just to get back to the green there. Why, oh why, and then there's that AoE, man. I was really, if we could have just kept the ultimate, we could have easily gone buff removal into the death effect in one. Green. Why do I feel like this is going to work? We'll go buff removal into the cleave card, even though it is the like type disadvantage kind of. I still feel like that's going to do a lot of damage, and then surely Escanor can finish this. Oh. This is our final chance. I can't keep doing this. I'm gonna go 1, 2, merge the Escanors, and 3. Surely a level 9 Escanor doesn't cuck us in not doing enough damage, but hey, this is... Demonic Beast battles are meant to be the hardest content in the game, so please Escanor. And surely this kills. Thank God. Oh my God. It literally got to the point where I just stopped recording and continually tried it because I did not want to make you guys go through that any longer, but there it is, the brand new Jormungandr swimsuit. My oh my, if they keep it up with these amazing swimsuits, I don't care if my characters have the max cosmetics, I will still buy them. It was the same thing, I think the first time I did it was with the one when he got his swimsuit. If we have a look here, he will be over the, massively over the amount of costumes needed, but once again, there we go. That just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.